What's up, y'all? What's going on? Got some in my hair. Jesus. All right. That's going to bother me this whole time. What's up, Zach? Hey, Lisa. How are you doing? Alejandro. Edson. AJ, what's up, man? I can't wait to get back to get that freshie. Whew, golly. Why? Did he come on here stabbing? Capture this 207. What's going on, y'all? We're going live here. We're going to be talking about setting goals 2018. 2018. We're talking about setting goals here for the 2018. What's up, Jay Wong? Jake Wong? Andrew? Darren Shields? What's up? What's up? Yo, you gotta stop. Yo, AJ, stop hating, bro. So Fane, how you doing? How you doing? So we're talking about setting goals for 2018. We're gonna end out the year strong. So let's get started, man. Let's get started. First question. Hey, put a number one if you guys close the deal this month. Type number one. So I'm live on Instagram and on YouTube. I love doing YouTube because I get to save it and it stays up there the whole time. What's up, Daniel Turner, Mr. Turner? Alex said he's closed the deal this month. I like it. I know money making did. Woo, winning. AJ, what deal you closed? Anybody on YouTube close the deal? Hey guys, I have my my videographer with me, Alante. He's captioning all this stuff because I've been slacking on putting out. Mississippi said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right, so nobody on YouTube has dropped a 1 yet. Amy. Oh, Amy just dropped one. Hey now. I like it. Hey, so tonight we're going to be talking about setting goals for 2018, right? I'm going to talk personally about my goals, and I'm going to talk about how you guys and Jake. I just talked to Jake, man. He just sent out an offer tonight. 0, but he ain't tripping. Darren says he ain't tripping. He said he wholesale a car. I like that. Nice. AJ's the barber over there at my shop. Irvin, how you doing, sir? Everybody's doing good. So listen, everybody. This is what we're going to touch on. I've had a great year. 2017 has been a great year for me, and I want to turn this thing up for 2018, and I hope you guys want to do the same. So let's just get the boring stuff out of the way and talk about some of the goals. A lot of you guys know we are... my goal setting out when I started my vlog was to reach $100,000 a month in wholesaling revenue. We are so close. We are so close to actually reaching that this month. And we feel great about it. So now that we've essentially reached this goal of reaching $100,000 a month in 2017, that's going to put us around $1.2 million if we can stay consistent for the year. But for 2018, I need to end the year. I actually want to do $2 million in sales for the 2018. Pablo, yes, I am buying the Lamborghini in 2018. It's happening. So let's talk about some of my goals and some of my numbers for 2018. And hopefully you guys can think about this when you guys are setting your 2018 goals, and hopefully you finish 2017 very strong. How will you scale that up? That's the answer, right? So my goal for 2017 is to reach $2 million in revenue by December of 2018, virtually 2019 January. I need to be at $2 million, okay? So obviously, last year, this year, 2017, I said if I hit a certain goal, I would go out and buy a Lamborghini. I've always wanted that car. I will buy a Lamborghini in 2018. So that's goal one, but that's not really important, right? So a lot of people want to know, how am I going to scale from $100,000 a month to essentially $200,000 a month? And here's what we're going to do. We're going to stay consistent on our channels that work. For example, I only control probably about 10 to 12% of my market. We want to expand that to about 25% of my market, and that probably means adding another county to our goals. So right now in Forsyth, we're going to roll into Guilford County as well. I'm going to stay out of the Charlotte region. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to double my PPC. So my Google pay-per-click, I'm going to double that. And what we also plan on doing is adding another lead source, 2 more lead sources to our company. And basically, I'm going to take what is basically our marketing budget now, and I'm not going to double it. I'm just going to 1.5 it, so that, and I think we can be pretty effective with it. With doubling, without doubling our marketing budget, but doubling our actual sales. And one way is we're going to be more efficient. We're going to become more efficient in cold calling. We are going to implement a strategy that Josh Gaiman in Arizona has called cold calling for steroids. And I highly suggest you guys, visit coldcallingonsteroids.com and get Josh's program. I'm not even sure what it costs, but I know it's something that you really, really need to look into. And everybody knows that I don't do cold calling. I don't do mailing. So cold calling is what? And Charlotte I'm just staying out of Charlotte. A lot of people are asking, why am I staying out of Charlotte? I have no ill will against Charlotte. I just decided to stay out of it. It's the go-to in my state, and I just decided to fish somewhere else. I have another pond that's better, that I like to be in. Yeah, Alex, so cold calling on steroids is basically a method of reaching hundreds of thousands of people a month. Tens of thousands for sure, just depending on where your market is. And that's going to be important for us. So we're going to double down on our cold calling efforts. We're going to still do what we're doing now. I'm going to add another cold caller to our company. And I am also going to implement cold calling on steroids and add 2 new lead sources. My cost per lead, PPC, is $68. And we're closing 1 out of 4. So what's very important that has allowed me to scale is understanding my KPIs, which is key performance indicators. Those are things that you have to know your numbers, such as what does it cost to get a lead, and how many leads does it take for you to actually get a contract. And to know those numbers, that will get you the cost per deal and your conversion rate. So, no, I'm very serious about the Lamborghini. I see guys in the YouTube chat talking about Lamborghini. Lamborghini is going to happen. It's going to happen right after the first quarter. So it's no challenge. It's already secured to buy. Know your KPIs. Know your numbers so that you're allowed to scale. So what I do is I challenge everybody in 2018, starting out now, you need to know certain KPIs, okay? And Sean Terry does a great job of explaining what KPIs to track and what's important, okay? What you need to do is understand what it costs for you to get a lead, okay? So, for example, just take PPC, for example. When somebody clicks on your website and fills out the form, how much does that cost you to get to that point? And then how many of those filled out forms does it take to actually, how many forms does it take to fill out to actually turn into a lead? And that's important. So it needs to know what your lead cost is, how many leads does it take you to get an actual contract, and I'm sorry, how many leads does it take you to get on how many appointments, and how many appointments turn into actual contracts. And then once you figure out your cost per lead and your cost per deal, then you're able to find out what portion and which area of your business you're going to scale, right? So that's a very, you know, that's pretty much how we're gonna double down. And what I'll do, and I plan in 2018 to also be more transparent to you guys. I plan to be more consistent with my YouTube videos, my Instagram lives. As you can see, last week I did it on Monday. This week I did it on Monday. And if I'm going to be traveling, I'll give you guys a heads up, so we'll have to change it. But that's also one of my goals, to be more transparent to you guys. 2018, I'm also planning on putting something together simple for everybody to be able to understand what wholesaling is in a nutshell. More of the simplified versions, things that actually, work, and are not the same traditional things like people are telling you to do. So Colin, I've been in wholesaling for roughly 2 years now, and that's where we are now. Really full time, 1 year. So I'm gonna be what I plan to do is, me and my buddies, the big three, Brent, Adam, and myself. What we're gonna do is put out a program that's really gonna tell you guys how to get started. And another thing that I'm gonna do is I'm actually opening into another market. I'm open into a new market now, actually, and I'm not going to reveal what that market is as of yet, but I'm opening a new market, and it's going to be a challenge, but it's just going to be another division of our company, and we're just going to duplicate what we're doing. Guys, if you can hold your questions for about another 5 minutes, we're going to do Q&A right after this. And then you know I love Q&A anyway. That's where I like to just boom, 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 get it done. So know your KPIs. That's one of the goals you guys should have. And if you don't know your KPIs, just look up what that is. And there's a bunch of KPI, performance indicator Excel sheets out there for everybody. And I feel like you guys can do great by just looking that up. I don't have a KPI indicator that I can share with you guys because I didn't create it. The one I use is created by Sean Terry. Okay. So I'm going to double down on certain things, open 2 new streams of lead flow, and I'm also going to expand into a new market. And I won't reveal that market yet. We'll talk about that in a later video. Okay? So in order for you guys to grow for 2018 and set your goals, I really want you to start tracking everything you're doing in your business. My remote employees do a great job at tracking the inbound calls, the outbound calls, how many people they talk to, how many clicks we get on our website, how long did it take for that to convert into something great. So know your numbers, and what I'll do is I'll create a video later in the Wholesaling Elite Room to kind of break down how to get your numbers locked in so that you feel so secure about your business that if somebody asks you a question as far as like how much do your leads cost, you're going to be able to, boom, just spit that number out. And that makes your business more investable, and it makes you know where you need to spend money and where you need to not spend money. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to make, like I said, a much deeper video about KPIs. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to open up the Q&A right now. So if you guys have any questions about wholesaling, real estate in general, please let me know. And we'll try to fire up these questions. Don't forget, guys, I'm also live on YouTube, and I'm also live on Instagram. So let's shoot some questions out right now. Ricky says, what are the most important resources to have when wholesaling? I'm not sure what you mean by resources, but I'm going to take a stab at your question. Your resources, you need to know whatever city you're in, what's the name of the county, and you need to have the county's tax website. What I want you to do is go on Google and put the county name GIS. And that means, so if it's Franklin County, it's Franklin County GIS, which is Geographical Information System. That is where the tax data for most counties live. And you can just type in an address and it pulls up who owns it, when they bought it, how much they bought it for, the tax value, and so on and so on. Cigars and Caviar ask, do I strictly do assignments? Yes, 100% assignments is what I do. Anthony says he wants to use Facebook marketing, but he does not sure how to do it. What I would recommend is going to look at one of my old YouTube videos that talks about how to generate leads without actually with Facebook marketing. Bowtie says, I got my first property under contract today. I also have 7 potential buyers. I love hearing stories like that. Let's close it out by the end of the year and have a great Christmas. How often do you double close compared to assignments? I only do assignments because I screen my buyers and they know how I work. Says, have you bought any apartment buildings yet, and do you invest in stocks? So right now I haven't bought any apartment buildings. We did analyze a few deals this year, and we're planning on doing more, creating a syndication. I have a few NFL athletes that want to invest, so we're going to syndicate some money and buy some apartment buildings in North Carolina. That's going to do a great return. How do you get the phone numbers to cold call? You want to use DataZap. We use DataZap, Cold Realty, and TLO. DataZap is probably going to be your best bet, and just use the property data to find the most updated records. Okay. Are you going to try to have SIP join your IG live again? No, I'm not going to do that because I couldn't figure it out. I had bunny ears. How much do you pay your acquisitions guys? So my acquisition manager gets 10% of the spread. If he also sells it, he gets up to 20% of each deal. I live in New Jersey, which is a big city base. Do you think driving for dollars is needed on a daily basis? So what part? If you're in South Jersey, the whole Jersey. I was in Middlesex and those areas. I drove for dollars and found houses like that. So driving for dollars works all across the country. I want to go to do direct mail, heavy direct mail. You can do it. You can spend a lot of money. I hope you got a bankroll. What are the few benefits of assignments over double close? When you do an assignment, it's much easier. It's a cleaner transaction. You're on the HUD. You only have to close one time. A double close means you have to actually bring the money to the table, close, turn around, resell it to somebody else. Just assignments are just much faster. What if your mailing drops as a P.O. box? So a lot of people don't know that the U.S. Postal Service has a service that you can actually change it from a P.O. box to a regular mailing address. Every postal service does that. Just ask them. It's a regular address. They'll take all the packages and everything. It's been like that for a couple of years now. Don't double close. What list are you calling? I'm calling the same list people are mailing. So it's no different than tax delinquent, code violations, people that are on the short list to be foreclosed on, inherited properties. So it's not anything genius. How do you screen your buyers? Amy asks, how do I screen my buyers? I have a conversation with them, and one of the main questions I ask is to make sure there's first of all, I make sure they're real serious buyers. And you're just going to find ways to ask some questions and figure that out. Here's what you do. I ask this question. Hey, listen, if I buy a property for $1, if I get a property on the contract for $1, it's worth $150, and I assign it to you for $50,000 or $60,000, do you mind if I make $59,999 wholesaling fee? If they're okay with that, as long as the numbers work for them, then that's fine. It's a great buyer. More buyers you have, the better you are. Okay? Let's see here. How do you build a buyer's list with no connections? Go to auctions. And when you go to these auctions that people are actually buying houses, give them your business card and tell them that you want to sit down and talk with them, or you want to jump on the phone with them. The reason being is because if they're at the auctions already buying property, then it's more easy for them to Um, they're already buying. They have cash. Auctions, you have to have cash. Okay. Asking for a friend. Are you willing to do a closing challenge? Um, Irvin, let me know what that challenge is. I use Skip Genie if Max doesn't mind me sharing it. No, you can share whatever. Man, I'm so open. Now let's see here. Mom Enterprise LLC. Hey Max, have you ever had to deal with squatters in a property? If so, do you go through with the eviction process and how long did it take? So Mom's Enterprise asks is, have I had to deal with squatters in a property? If so, did you go through the eviction process and how long did it take? So I went through an eviction. I had squatters in a recent property that had the guy was in prison, so he wasn't able to do the eviction. So what I told my buyer is, and this is exactly what was sent out in the email to the buyers. It said headaches equal big profit, and I said squatters in the property, and it's easier to evict the person when the new owner has the property. So what we did is say, listen, this property has squatters in it, but you're getting this property at such a great deal that as the moment you close it, the attorney's ready to do the eviction. And the eviction maybe be a few $100, but they're getting such a deal, they don't care. So eviction, it just depends on city. Can take eviction on the squatters can take 15, 20, 30, 45 days. It just depends. Okay. I already talked about what list I'm doing. Okay. Do you mind sharing your acquisitions manager template? I'm not sure what that template that is. What you mean? Helpful information on double closing. If an owner is reluctant to sell, but you know they are upcoming sheriff sale, how do you bring up to them the conversation without attacking the seller? Listen, Serenity, what you have to understand in this business is that you can never convince somebody to give their house or sell their house for pennies on a dollar. If you've weighed out the pros and cons and say, listen, you could either get some money or no money, and if they still don't want to do it, then you just walk away and go to the next one. Don't spend your time with them. They're going to lose it regardless. You have an option where they lose it and they make some money. So in this business, you can never convince somebody to sell you something that they're not wanting to sell. So always keep that in mind. Any other leads you buy other than List Source? I don't really buy many, but you can do Data Zap. List Source is good depending what county you're in. Rebo Gateway is a decent one. How often do you pull new lists? We pull new lists on our list or refresh weekly. David said, can you send me a blank copy of a purchase agreement and assignment contract? Listen, I have a purchase agreement and assignment contract. I'm not an attorney, but if you want to see what mine look like, email me max@therealmaxwell.com. And listen, guys, if you email me, sometimes it takes a while for me to get back to you. Give me a few days. I'm just kind of busy. Why do you use CallRail if you're not sending mail and only calling? Do you see those different numbers, track campaigns? So somebody's asking, why do I use CallRail if I'm not sending mail? So any other marketing piece we do has a different number. Our bandit signs has a different number. Our pay-per-click ads has a different number. When we send out ringless voicemails, that's a different number. When people are doing outbound calls, that's a different number. So we just, every single marketing piece we have has a different number. So Alejandro said, hey Max, I just assigned a contract for a little over $20,000, but it's been over a week and he hasn't got the title commitment. Should I be worried? So what do you mean? So you've got the house under contract, you brought it to the title company is doing the research on the property, you've assigned it for $20,000, but it hasn't closed yet. I'm missing a gap in that explanation. Is the title company not closing yet, or has the guy given you the deposit or brought the deposit to the title company for the assignment? I'm lost to where you are as to why it hasn't closed yet. So you call tax delinquent, code violations, foreclosure off? Absolutely, Alex. The same thing everybody mails, I just tax them. I just call them. Max, if you're in Florida, there's a free site for list. We have to talk. So yeah, anything. Yeah, I pull my list based upon what I know from the tax place. Can you wholesale a deal that has an agent? Typically, no, because it's under contract to be sold with an agent. I use direct mail and get the best response rate from absentee owners, but mailing to tax liens seems like a waste of time. I'm going to try cold calling them. Yeah, I mean, direct mail works for some people, but while you mail them and you have to, what is it, 6 times before you get a good response, yes or no? I've called them 7 to 12 times. So my absentee people like to talk to me. So I get a better response in general. My response rate is 10% on cold calling, or even higher. And you're at 1% for calling. But it works. Yes, the deposit is everything. It hasn't closed because the title company hasn't gotten the title company. Alejandro, I think you just need to. I think you need to talk to your title company because I'm not sure where that is, where the problem is. Zach says 10%. What, 10% is too little? We're doing 10 deals a month, so at 10%, he's making a 10 grand a month. You'll be all right. Larry Johnson says, do you do mentorship? I don't really do mentorship. I do have one-on-one call sessions. You can go to callme.therealmaxwell.com. Callme.therealmaxwell.com. Book a session with me. I'll sit down and break down your business directly towards you. So Amy Henderson, I use all my data from calling comes from 3 places. TLO, Cole Realty Resources, and Data Zap. That's the 3 places where I get numbers. I have a list of tax delinquents, not sure how to approach the conversation. So I get this question a lot. People say, well, how do I talk to this type of motivated seller? How do I talk to this type of motivated seller? How do I talk to somebody that has probate? What I train in my company, we talk to them all the same. Hey, do you have a house you want to sell? I don't go into what it is and what it ain't. That simple. That's it. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. I talk to everybody the same. The script is the same for every prospective person. Now I know when you guys do mailings, your mailings are different, but when you get somebody on the phone, you just say, hey, this is Maxwell, Cash Homes Triad. I was looking to purchase a house in your area. Do you have any interest in getting a cash offer on your property? It's yes or no. I don't need to say, hey, I heard you lost somebody. Hey, I know you're tax delinquent. Hey, this is Max from Cash Homes Triad. You say, hey, Mike, this is Max from Cash Homes Triad. I'm wanting to buy a house I'm a local investor, and I want to buy a house in your area. Just want to know if you're interested in getting a cash offer on your property. Yes, I am. No, I ain't. Quit calling me. Sure. Can I call you back? And just whatever. So let's see here. It says, I hate Cole Realty because I only can do 1,000 pulls at a time. I could pull 10,000 at a time on Cole Realty. What kind of areas is best to wholesaling? I think his name is Cable. Cable he says, what areas are best to wholesale in? Low end or high end? The areas that are best to wholesale in are the ones that buyers are buying in. That's not your decision to make. Whatever buyers are buying in to renovate, that's where you go find them. It says, how do you choose which areas to purchase in? Does it depend solely on profit margin or turnover? So everybody has good zip codes and bad zip codes that they live in. Our good zip codes are certainty numbers. You need to find that out by talking to more buyers in your area, or that you can use software. Actually, if you go to ListSource, and I don't know how to explain this to you, but if you go to ListSource, you can find out the hottest area where cash buyers are, and you can get that list for free. Don't email me or inbox me how to do it, because I don't know how to explain it. If you want to do that, email Mr. Sippy. He can tell you, but the best way to find out how to do it yourself. So let's see, guys. My email is, Irvin, you're going to have to email me, max@therealmaxwell.com. I'm not going to go back and watch this. Do you pay people to drive for dollars, and how many leads do they bring your week? So Andrew, that's a good question. He says, do I pay people to drive for dollars? And what he's really asking is, my bird dogs, do they drive for dollars and get paid? No. So what you want to do is, here's some tips, right? If you want to get people to drive for dollars and they're doing stuff in their everyday job, here are people you need to go after. One is the mailman. Anytime you see a mailman walking around and putting mail in the box, I'm the craziest. I pull over, I chase them down, I say, hey, listen, I'm a real estate investor and I know you go to certain houses in these areas. Here goes a card. If you tell me every house that you pass and you know is vacant, just text it to me. I'll give you $1,000 if I close the deal. I do the same thing with Uber drivers, cable guys. But what I found that works best is USPS guys, because they walk the beat. They know every house that is vacant because they have to put a slip in the vacant ones, right? Those are your easiest ones. They just text you, have a line that goes to your VA or straight to your phone, and they're going to say, hey, found an address, 123 Main Street. I know this is vacant. And say, don't send me the vacant ones with a for sale sign in the yard, okay? So Uber drivers, taxi drivers, cable guys, lawn guys, and postman. Those are the guys that you can get to do your driving for dollars without actually driving for dollars. So let's see here. I pay people between $500 after we close the property. Yes. Yep. They only get paid if you close the deal. I can't pay you if I don't got no money. I got the real estate agent to put an assignment clause in the purchase contract so I can assign it to my buyers, right? Yes, every contract is assignable unless it says it's not. So even most state contracts is assignable. Would you call a landlord if you see they have a house listed for rent for a couple months? Absolutely. So tired landlords is one resource of finding leads. Here's another thing, another tip, guys. This is why I say you need to hang out at the courthouse and really understand what goes on at the courthouse, okay? At the courthouse, there's a floor or courthouse room that is dedicated once a month, once a week, every day, depends how big your county is, that only deals with evictions. So in my county, I think it's the third floor, fourth floor, there's a room, courthouse, and in the mornings, there's a list of people getting evicted, the name of the plaintiff, the name of the defendant. The defendant is the person that's getting evicted. The plaintiff is the person that's doing the evicting. Usually it's a lot of property management companies. Don't be afraid to call those people either. Property management companies usually run properties for a lot of large people that buy properties. They could be tired landlords. They never know. They're going to get paid too. And then you're going to have some guy say, he might be Tom Jones is evicting this person. Find out what property it is. Call Tom Jones and ask him if he wants to sell his house for cash. That's another way of finding, there's all ways to find properties and people that are tired of being owners. Do you meet all your sellers or are you doing it virtually? So Alex, I have a team that meets my sellers just because I've created a system in my business where I don't go to the properties. Sometimes I don't even see the properties that are being bought and sold because I've created a system. Now my acquisition manager sees them, takes pictures of them and stuff like that, but necessarily I don't. My team does. But Les, if you're a single guy doing it yourself, you can if you're doing it in your market. If you're going to do virtual wholesaling, then you don't have to see them. You can use a service called, forget what it's called, but they'll go take pictures for you and stuff like that. I'm switching back and forth to see what questions. What do you do when the lead says they don't want to sell? Well, we use a system called Investor Fuse that puts people on a follow-up system. Like I said earlier, you can't force somebody to sell you their house, so you just follow up with them. What are the steps for flipping contracts and closing deals? Larry Johnson, that's a loaded question. I don't even have enough time to do it, but I'm going to try to break it down. What are the steps for flipping contracts and closing deals? One, finding a deeply discounted property, right? Deeply discounted property. Not just a little less, a deeply discounted property. Getting that property under contract, okay? And then marketing that contract to people that have cash and that are going to buy the property from you, such as flippers, landlords, and then sell that contract to that person. When that contract closes, you get the difference in between what you had it under contract for and what you sold the contract for. So if you got it under contract for $40,000 and the guy agrees to buy it for $45,000, you make the $5,000 in between. That's the simple thing on how to flip a contract. When you add a realtor to your buyers list who represents the cash buyer, how do you explain to them what you're doing and why it's beneficial for them? Andrew, tell them you're a marketing expert. What you are is a real estate solutions company. You have a lot of properties. Tell them you're a flipper. You buy a lot of properties, okay? And sometimes you don't close on all these properties. And you have the option to be able to sell some of these properties to their buyers because you don't want to close on them. So if that's the case, then I mean, some realtors are just not going to get it. They're stupid. I can say that because I used to be one. Okay? Can I buy you lunch if you come to Nashville? Yep, I want some hot chicken, and then you can take me to, where else should I go in Nashville? My camera guy's from Nashville. I want some hot chicken, and then I want some what else do I want? I want some pho.
I don't know.
Man, he don't know nothing. So yeah, no, definitely lunch. Yeah, my good buddy, he's probably on the air right now. JR in Nashville, he's the night jock on 106.7. So yeah, I'm actually need to go out and see him pretty soon. So take me up. I'll take you up on that offer. Yep, WeGoLook.com. Thanks, Daniel. WeGoLook.com. So if you're a virtual wholesaler, you get a house under contract, or you need to go see a house, WeGoLook.com will go take pictures and do whatever you need to do for them. Cool? When doing comps, what's more important, date sold or square foot? Both, right? So when doing 6 months, right, you're supposed to get in the last 1 month to find out. Most time you can't. Here's what I do. If you don't know comps, you're going to use Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com. Take all three of those estimated ARVs and divide them by 3. Don't try to be an expert. You get that number and you minus 30%, minus what the fees are, and minus what the repairs are, and that's the most you can do. What's the best website for cold phone numbers? Sorry again. It's called Data Zap. And when you go under Data Zap, you want to look under real estate data, I believe it is. And you're going to pay about 3 to 4 cents a record. It's great, great stuff. When doing comps, what's more important? We said that. In your opinion, where would... That's a good question. Mike and Vic Investment Properties, Mick and Vic, I think it is. He says, in your opinion, where would be a good place to look for acquisitions manager? First of all, you don't need somebody that's got real estate knowledge. You need a good sales guy. So somebody that is used to doing outbound sales, that's a hustler. Like I said, my guys, you make 10 grand a month. So, you know, find a guy that's in sales, outbound sales, start him off part-time, and you'll be surprised what you can get. Okay? Let's see here. We're going to do about 5 or 10 more minutes of this, guys, and then we're going to get off here, and I got some stuff to do tonight. Andrew Barlow. I'm a newbie and still trying to figure out valuations. If I can get a house under contract for $70,000, which needs between $15,000 and $20,000 in rehab, and the ARV is $20,000, is that a good deal? Would a flipper want that? 70, let's say 20, and you're at 90. Then you're at... So Andrew, here's what you have to remember. Here's a simple formula, Andrew. Get ready. Right? ARV is 120. Okay, I'm gonna see if my other phone is ready. I don't know if you guys can see this. Okay, ARV is 120,000. Okay, what I'm gonna do is minus 30%. That's 119,970. Minus the $20,000 in repairs is 99,970. Minus my fee, I want to make $10,000 in the assignment, equals 89,970. Did I do that right? Let's see. 120,000 minus 30% is 84,000. I think I did that wrong the first. So 84,000 minus 20,000 in repairs, 64,000. Minus the $10,000 I want to make as a wholesaling fee, the maximum allowable offer you're allowed to do in a medium market, medium to hot market, medium to medium hot market is $54,000, Andrew. That's your deal, $54,000, because you're going to sell it for $64,000 to $65,000. So you're off. I use 30% because our market bears 30%. Some guys, some markets like Arizona, you can do it at 80-85% because they're freaking. What's up, AJ? That's a long-term high school friend. That information is important. See, he says Charlotte can be 80%. And I have an app coming out on iOS that is a calculator that you just punch in the ARV and what your fee is, and boom, it's going to drop out and tell you. Yeah, see, he said Charlotte's totally crazy hot out there. DC is also 80. Yeah, so those are hot markets. Irvin says that has to be a super motivated seller. Irvin, I get 10 of those a month or better. I do ARV 65%. Repairs, wholesale fee. Everybody's got their formula. Do what works. I'm just trying to tell you what works in our area to make $100,000 a month. All right, guys. Any more questions? Any more questions? Don't forget. Listen. Go to therealmaxwell.com. Download my free ebook. It's free. It's got some of my tips, some of my my tools that I use when driving for dollars. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Like, if you're still here watching this on YouTube, I deserve a freaking subscribe. The app's going to, I can't tell you exactly when the app's going to come out. The app's going to come out when Apple gives me the thumbs up. Any meetups in Winston coming? Yes. We're doing meetups. I'm in LA right now, so as soon as I get back after the new year, we're going to do a meetup, and it's going to be crazy. I'm going to drop some knowledge in that meetup, bring some of the top guys. I have $10K to invest. Where should I invest it to get more motivated sellers? Ricky is asking that question. Ricky, if you got $10K to invest and you want to spend it wisely, you're going to need to get on the phone with me, okay? And I'm going to tell you where to put it. Call me.therealmaxwell.com. Call me.therealmaxwell.com. Okay? So let's see here. Smash that like button. Dropping some knowledge for you guys tonight. Listen, it's almost Christmas time, guys. Don't slack off. I tell you, the calls that my company is getting right now and the closings that we're doing before people, so people have enough time to do Christmas shopping, is insane. I'm like taking offers and I'm doing them at 60%, not even 70 right now, because people are like, I need money for Christmas. I can close in 7 days. There's two things you can negotiate in real estate. And that's going to be the price or the terms. If you want to close super fast, I'm going to pick the price. If you got time, then you pick the price. Okay? Kill Dude says, am I wholesale in LA? Nope, I haven't wholesaled in LA. Not yet. Not yet. Also, when is the new episode of the podcast coming out? So I've been slacking on the podcast. It really has not been my fault. My engineer is done with the... I actually did a long podcast with Adrian from On Carrot. It's going to be split up into 2 markets. So boom, boom. We're going to be doing 2 different podcast version 1 and version 2 is going to be dropping Friday. How do you know the selling price? So how do you know the selling price? I'm going to type it. ARV minus 70% minus repairs minus wholesale fee equals MOA. Boom. When a vacant home, too vacant for a deal. When is a vacant home too vacant for a deal when nobody wants it? How many cold calls does it take to get one contract? That's how many cold calls. I have to look at my KPIs, but I know we're getting 1 to 2 a week with just one guy calling right now. Yep. All right, guys, so I'm going to be getting out here. I'm running close to 45 minutes on this, and I know YouTube wants me to keep it down. So don't forget this Friday. What's up, Nick? Yo, if you guys ain't follow Nick. He's up in Maine. First of all, he's a builder. He's like killing it in Maine. I used to live in Maine, if you guys don't know. He's a builder. That's an investor. His story is awesome. Went from a builder to now he can do exact whatever the hell he wants to do with properties. I've heard his property is crazy. I heard he's building something crazy up there on Munjoy Hill. I got to come out there and see it when the weather warms up. Nick, I'm not going out there before that. Mick and Vic asks a question. Do you have VAs doing your cold calling? If so, what company? Mick and Vic, here's what I advise you to do. Go back inside of my YouTube videos and do the one that says $100,000 a month structure. It would show you exactly how I do cold calling and how much it costs and how I pick them. Andrew, good luck to you, man. I know you're new out there, so good luck to everybody. I'm getting out of here, guys. Guy says, how much would you charge a broker for a finder's fee? A broker cannot pay you a finder's fee, so you got to figure out another way to word that. Can you send me your acquisitions manager template for cold calling? Okay, Irvin, email me, max@therealmaxwell.com. I don't do outbound emails unless I get an inbound email. My acquisition manager does not make cold calling. That's my cold caller. If you want my cold calling script and then my lead manager script, I can send that to you, max@therealmaxwell.com. Listen, if you're just getting started in wholesaling and you need some one-on-one help, I'm happy to help you. But you can also just join my Facebook group called Wholesaling Houses Elite. Wholesaling Houses Elite. I'm in there. I'm answering questions on the daily. If you want more of a one-on-one personal thing with me, go to callme.therealmaxwell.com. I'll hook you guys up. I can do a 30-minute call with you, a 1-hour call. Ask my guy Andrew. Ask my buddy down in South New Orleans. We're crushing deals. I've helped a lot of people get their first deal this year. You just got to be willing to do it, man. So don't waste my time, and I won't waste yours, okay? Everybody have a great, great night. I'm going to go grab something to eat with my camera guy. Call it a night. Don't forget, follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to me on YouTube. I really appreciate everything from you guys. Have a good night. I'll see you guys later.